Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know I'm on the road. I've got some work to do on getting my setup together when I'm on the road and not actually at home because I got I got a job I got to take care of, and that means I've got work I got to do, and so on. But I also have a job of keeping you guys informed as well. So um, we had fun last night with the NFC East roundtable family affair with all my badass kids. I was going to be streaming it. Unfortunately, it just took up too much CPU. Um, what I have set up is actually this is my CPU setup with an extra screen. So by the time you put the extra monitor onto the machine, by the time you put the web camera on the machine, then you put the streaming software on the machine, and then you go to hit StreamYard and go in there. The computer's just like, dude, it's just too much. It's just too much to be able to keep up with it. So I'm gonna have to get myself a, more powerful laptop, gaming laptop. This one I've had for probably about 5 years or so. So it's definitely older. You know how technology literally doubles, it seems, on a yearly basis. But I'll get it figured out definitely before for future use, so that way we're able to do what we do. But the thing I can take away from last night is, besides, they always say us Cowboy fans are delusional. Um, I dare say that everybody has hope right now because it's the off season and things turn around. We've seen teams go from worst to first, and you know who saw Cincinnati going from 6-10, I think, the year before, or 5-11, to being in the Super Bowl. Crazy things happen, so everybody has hope. Um, the funny thing is the hope for everybody else in our division isn't so much what they've done, where they look and say, "Man, we've built a great team" and stuff like that. No, not at all. What it is they smell blood in the water because they look at it and say, "The Cowboys have lost a lot, and they're coming back down to us." So their hope is not that they've gotten better, that solely that the Dallas Cowboys have gotten worse, because they look at it and say, "Oh well, they lost Amari Cooper and Randy Gregory, and they haven't signed players in free agency and so on." So they feel emboldened, they feel good, they feel like they've got an opportunity. In listening to Rio believes that this is the best quarterback that they've had in forever. He's 30 years old, and it says in his lifetime, this is the best quarterback that Washington's had. And that sounds like a thing we hear on a regular basis. I remember them saying that about Donovan McNabb. I remember them saying about that when they drafted RG3. I remember them saying that when they ended up bringing in Alex Smith, and they've had Kirk Cousins. So it's not that they haven't had good quarterbacks. It's the Washington football team is the Bermuda Triangle of quarterbacks. Quarterbacks sail in, never to be heard from again. So, as Louis T put it in the part two NFC East roundtable, um, they signed the only quarterback who had a no trade clause. Think about that. If you were a quarterback, you like, say, Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson or things like that, guys that are legitimate quarterbacks, you said, "I'm not going to Washington." Carson Wentz didn't have that option. So there's that. The Giants and Cop Pizzle, who's always, he's just happy to be invited to the party. He was just literally happy to be invited to the party last night. Thinks his team might be about, 8, 9 wins, which, that's a reasonable goal. And Philly is worried about his quarterback situation. Philly is literally thinking that the team is trying to not help their quarterback in Jalen Hurts. He's not sure what the quarterback is. And you can tell Philly is still hurt. He's still hurt about Carson Wentz. He literally looked like he's got like, the, kind of like, yeah. every time you mention Carson Wentz. So it's going to be painful watching Carson Wentz play for Washington for him. And I dare say, um, I can't wait. I can't wait to do the live stream cams. Now here's some breaking news for you. Rio does not have season tickets this year. So he's going to end up probably being at my house all the time.
Oh, so he's gonna be your new son?
I think so, because he's like, I don't have season tickets this year, so I'll be at the Holmes' house. I was like, oh, okay,
I'm not gonna be there every Sunday.
okay.
So, I'll be there most Sundays, but not every Sunday.
So I guess I don't need the meltdown cam screen on there. We just have to have the Rio cam right there. So I guess we'll have Rashid. What? Why do we have to draft the wide receiver? And Rio there. I actually ought to see what he's doing for. Oh no, he'll be at FedEx for his draft show. They're actually doing a party there.
Whoa! They're doing one at that dump.
Yeah, they're having a draft get together there. Okay, so that's where we are. The NFC East guys feel like they've got a chance to catch the Cowboys not because they're good. They feel like they have a chance because the Cowboys didn't do much. All right, and here, because this is going guerrilla style, meaning I ain't got my regular stuff here. We're low tech here, but we're still bringing you the news. Jimmy G is talking about Deebo Samuels. Jimmy G, who probably is going to be on the trade block after he's shoulder heals up because, they've got a young guy that they're paying. So Jimmy G will probably be gone as well. But this is what he had to actually say about Deebo.
Talks between the 49ers and Deebo Samuels have hit an impasse. As a result, Deebo has requested a trade. Here's more from Jimmy Garoppolo on Mad Dog Radio on Deebo's situation.
I don't really like to get the other guys' contracts, but just speaking on Deebo and who he is as a player, as a person, I mean, the dude is unreal. And one way or another, he's going to get his money that he deserves and he earned. I mean, he honestly did earn. I've been with him since he was a rookie, dude. He's changed so much as a player. He's grown as a person, just leading guys on the field, taking these young receivers under his wing. I mean, it's things like that you can't, how do you quantify that? It's tough, but it's all those little things. And I don't know, whenever someone's a good person like that, does the right thing, and I think things will work out for him one way or another.
You're right, Jimmy. We can't quantify that, but we can quantify the wide receiver market right now because it has gone haywire. Here are the new contracts for wideouts. Tyreek Hill, killing it at $30 million. Devontae Adams with $28 now as a Raider. Stephon Diggs in the mix at the bottom, and I think he was the first domino. Christian Kirk at $18 million when he went over to the Jaguars. All right, time for worth the investment.
It's a lot of money for wide receivers.
Investment. So Jets GM Joe Douglas saying today that if the offer presents itself, the team would be aggressive making a move for Deebo. Yes, as you should. So, which team actually needs to go all in for Deebo?
First of all, can he say that?
I don't know.
I mean, what world are we living in right now? But to me, the team that needs to be all in is the 49ers themselves. They need Deebo Samuel. And again, Jimmy G was talking about it. He talked about the character, the makeup, who the player is. And I cannot believe that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan would let him out of there. Now, there's a way to be creative and create a contract that will make sense. Deebo wants to get paid. He should get paid. Maybe he's concerned, am I a running back? Am I a wide receiver? I've got all this production. So to me, I think that's a really smart way for people, again, to be creative, create a contract that gives him a really strong base salary as a wide receiver, but then give him additional incentives that include rushing and receiving. I remember years ago, we were trying to figure out creative ways with players and contracts. We had a receiver by the name of Troy Brown. And we had him playing corner, and his agent was trying to get us to give him incentives to do things to offset the overall value to our football team. The league wouldn't allow us to do it because you couldn't give an offensive player defensive incentive or vice versa. But in this case, I think that there's an opportunity for the San Francisco 49ers to be really, really smart and create a contract that will be incentive-laden.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Scott, because I think that's the real issue, is because I handed off to a lot of running backs, and I watched them play behind offensive and defensive line. It's the most violent thing that you'll ever see in the history of sports on this planet. Like, that is crazy. So when Deebo gets the rock, he's in that danger zone. He's in a zone where he's not making the type of money that we just flashed and showed these guys making $20+ million, but his production is right there with him, if not better, from the running back position and the wide receiver position. So when you talk about his contract, that's what it comes down to. Pay him like a top 5 wide receiver, which his production is there. But
Well, here's the deal. I think the well is poisoned with San Francisco. I think he's just ready to go on to other pastures. Here's the thing. If you are a team that think that you are just a player away from making the Super Bowl, then you probably make this kind of a move. Okay? If you're the Jets, this sounds great and all that, and this is the kind of thing that the Jets do, but the Jets aren't anywhere near trying to win. The draft capital that you're going to give up means we've got to win now, and I'm not sure that much is worth it. The Raiders, them going for Devontae Adams, a first and a second, I can look at them and say, they're a decent team. Although they're in a tough division, I don't know that they're going to be able to be a playoff team just because of that division they're going to play in. But I can see why they would go for Devontae Adams. Miami, I'm not sure Miami is that good that they should be in that situation where they say Tyreek Hill is the guy that can put us over the top. But, again, they weren't awful. But, again, the big question is can Tua get the ball 60 yards down the field to him? That will be the big question. The Cowboys, the funny thing is you look at the Cowboys and you say, if we can get a little bit more offensive production, that, we should be there because of our division. Because of our division, we know that we can compete. If you get Deebo Samuels, you have to be the odds-on favorite to win your division and to actually make some noise. And with a conference right now that has taken a step back because so many great players have gone to the other side, the AFC, you have to look at it and say, well, there's the Rams there that are the defending Super Bowl champions. Maybe they have the Super Bowl hangover. If you take a Deebo Samuels from the 49ers, you got to say the 49ers aren't as good. We know that the Seattle Seahawks aren't great, and there's still, of course, a lot of questions with the Cardinals and their situation. Is Kyler Murray the guy? Can the Cardinals play better going down the stretch with Cliff Kingsbury and so on? And, of course, there's Tom Brady, who will be a year older, and does he have a Gronk back? So you look at this and say, there may be not a lot of juggernaut teams in the NFC, and it might be worthwhile for the risk. The thing is then, if you do something like that, you're going to have to be very aggressive in the second round of free agency to plug the holes. So we'll have to wait and see what happens going forward. I don't see the Cowboys. That's not their mantra of going for making a mega move like this. I can't see them doing what Miami did, which is giving up tons and tons of draft capital to get Tyreek Hill, who is 28 years old, FYI. The Cowboys know that they've always been lights out I'm not going to say lights out because that would be the narrative that they hit on everything, and you don't hit on everything. But the Cowboys, in comparison to what you look at in our division, are lights out as far as the draft goes. So that is the time that they want to shine. If anything, they'd want to get more picks than less picks. So with that being said, I got to get over here and get to work so I can get back up the road so we can do our live stream tonight back in the studio at 9 o'clock Eastern with all the latest for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, I appreciate y'all. Peace.